In today's episode, we're going to be recreating this moose scene that's on top of a mirror. Stay tuned. This is the moose scene that my grandpa made. This is the last tribute video we're doing. And then, as you know from the past couple of videos, we'll be doing a scroll saw talk. And then a reflection 50 through 60 of all the tribute videos. X-naying the build a workbench because that wasn't a tribute video. But this one is going to be the last tribute video. On the back of it is, he signed it. It's number 29 of his work. He made it in June of 1999, so about, 14 years ago, around this time, sort of. Somewhat like that. So, it's pretty cool that he didn't sign all of his work, and some of the projects that we've shown, he did. Like the candle I showed you guys, and all that. So, I actually don't have the wood to make this quite yet. It should be here sometime today or something, but yeah, this video is all one, so in the next scene I'll have it, but right now I don't. Ordered some 1/8 inch walnut and maple. The contrast he has, he stained the colors out of 1/8 inch birch, it looks like, ply. So, and then he just glued everything on top of this mirror, which I don't think it's in the plans, but that's what he did. So I'm going to do the same. So stay tuned and we'll show you how to make this. Alrighty, here's the piece that we're going to be making today. Sorry about the background noise. It's a little warm in the workshop, so I have the fan going in the window there. So this is the mirror, or the original thing. I don't think it called for a mirror, but yeah, I like his idea. He put it on one, so I'm going to do the same thing. So here's the, I don't know how well you can see it because of all the reflecting crap from the lights and all that. That sort of helps. There we go. Basically what he has is he has contrasted two colors, dark and light. He used a Baltic birch ply, I believe, and that's what it looks like, and he just stained the colors, but I'm going to be using a 1/8 inch walnut and maple to do mine, with walnut being, you know, the darker and maple being the lighter, of course. So let's get started with it. You'll need the two patterns. This is the bottom piece that will be a walnut piece. And then you have the ring thing that will go around it. And you'll have to cut it out and connect it where the dashed lines are there because it's too big to fill in this paper. And watch when you're buying the wood for this that you take notice that it's going to be that wide, so you don't think that it's just going to be, you know, that wide. It's going to be wider. So I planned ahead and bought the wood, and that's why this video is taking a while to be up. It's about 2 weeks since the fan video, but no biggie. And then on these pieces of pattern we have the little things that overlay on top of the ring there. So with the patterns, I'll cut them out, you know, and get them ready to put on the wood, and I'll show you the wood. Here's the wood. And as you heard from the first scene where we were talking in front of the camera, me and Dylan, I'd said that I had to wait on the wood to come. Well, about 5 minutes later, after I'd shot that scene, I opened up the workshop and UPS just pulled up. So I got the wood right then, and so we can work with it and get this video done. So I have two pieces of 1/8 inch maple walnut, and that'll be the contrasting colors for this. So I'll get everything on the pieces of wood, the pattern, and just do the pattern like usual, and we'll see after that, and we'll start cutting them out. Alright, here's all the pieces with the holes drilled in it, the patterns on and all that. The piece that has the leaf on it for one of the overlays, it calls for 4 of them, so I will be doing a stack cut of 4, and remember it's 1/8 inch thick, so 4 times 1/8, that's only a 1/2 inch thick there, so it's not too hard to cut. If you notice, it calls for some vein cuts on it, so I have selected the smallest drill bit I have to do the start of it. Now I will use a number 7 or the thickest blade I have to do it, so when you match it up with the hole, it looks like one continuous cut there instead of a hole with a skinny kerf line for the cut. So that's just a trick I've learned to sort of hide the entry hole for vein cuts and stuff like that. And then this piece here, it calls for a couple vein cuts on it, but those are pretty intricate and I'm not going to just worry about them. They'll be fine. So with all that, I will go ahead and go over to the scroll saw and we'll start cutting these out. Alrighty, I'll start by cutting the walnut piece that has the moose on it. And since I have quite a bit of pieces to cut, you know, in the past projects, I'll just cut this one and show you that, and then I'll cut the other ones off camera so I don't bore you with all the cutting. So let's start cutting it. I have a number 3 blade in here. That's the smallest blade I have. It's not too intricate in some of the areas down in here, but 1/8 inch wood, so you don't need that big of a blade. Go back in and do the vein cuts here. So right here, folks, is a long line of ridges here, and you know, there ain't no way on God's green earth I can make all them cuts perfectly. So all I'll do is just zigzag that thing and it'll look alright. I'll go back through here and do the vein cuts after I get past the neck of this moose here. Now I'll go back through and do the vein cuts. Oh, shit. Well, she broke away. So what kind of damage we have here? No, it didn't. It's just very... yeah, it did break away. That'll be a little bit of super glue's job there. So you see that little thing there it broke off is flimsier than anything, so I'm going to repair that with some super glue and then go back and cut the outside. Alright folks, looks like we got a change of plans. I opened up my super glue bottle and it leaked everywhere for some reason, and so I'm out of super glue. So this is basically flimsy and oops, it just broke off. So what I'm going to do is you know, change is always good, so I'm going to just, you know, cut that nice and smooth, and then around his antlers here I'm going to cut that off, and then I won't have the mountain ridge up there or something like that. So it'll be different than the original one, but you know, I can't really do anything about it, so it'll be alright. So yeah, I'm just going to cut that off, and we'll go ahead and cut the outside of this. Alright, so we have the moose part cut out, so I'll go ahead and toss that to the side. Don't toss too hard, it might break. And we will go ahead and cut out the rest of these and then the ring on the outside of it, and we'll put it together, so I'll be right back with you. Alrighty, we have all the pieces cut out. The main piece with the moose scene in it, the maple piece that will contrast the rest of it, the pieces I will overlay, like the leaves thing on the top and then the thing for the bottom, and that's all. Now if you weren't going to do the thing that my grandpa did with the mirror, you would need some sort of backer, so of course we're not going to do that. We're going to do the mirror. So I just, you know, grabbed a $5 one from Walmart, nothing fancy. So what we're going to do now is do a little bit of sanding to smooth up the surfaces. Actually this wood that I got from Oak Cooch, it's already sanded actually, but it's still a little rough in areas, and especially on the back where it has the frizzlies, as I call it, from the blades. I did use an ultra reverse, but as it gets duller, of course, they will start to come back up. So just knock those off, you know, like I did in the past with a piece of sandpaper wrapped around a block of wood, just to smooth up those pieces and make it, you know, glue real nice on top of one another, you know. So what I'm going to do is just sand all the pieces, and then I'll be right back with you to glue them up, and then it'll be almost done. I already have all the pieces sanded. Now what you could do is look at the pattern, but what I'm going to do is just reference from the piece that my grandpa did to coordinate where everything goes at, and then that's how I'll put it together. So what I'll do first is I will glue the main round part on top of the moose, and that goes about like that. So I'll be using some of course some clear gel tacky glue there so it dries clear. So I'll flip it over, put quite a bit on there. Actually, you know what? That's not the smartest of ideas. I will glue onto here because I don't know where it's going to rest on it. So wipe up this. So I spread it around a little bit with this foam brush here so it's not all gooped up there. And from what I can see is there's the squeeze out from spreading the glue around, but that's alright. So what I'll do is I'll just keep it like that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some clamps on it, just some of these spring clamps. And we'll just have to come back and do the overlaid objects later, because I don't want to, I want to make this a nice glued joint, so not to rush the project. Alright, here it is so far. All the glue is dry on it. I went ahead and glued on all the overlaid pieces that consists of the just the leaves and then the top and bottom thing on it. So not too much on that. When I started doing those, I said I wasn't going to cut them out because it'd be too intricate. So I just burned in the veins of the leaves on both of those there. So it looks better than nothing, I think. The next step we're going to do is go ahead and, well, I'm going to do the signature and clear coat it, because I can't clear coat it if it's on the mirror, because you know it would mess up the mirror and all that. So I'll clear coat it, and then I'll fix it to the mirror, and I'll show you what I'll be using to do that. So I'll just burn it with my burning pin here like usual, but if I burn it on the back of it, you know, I won't really be able to get to the back after it's glued on there, so I won't see when I made it, you know, in the future if I want to see it. So in the back of the frame, it's all cardboard and all that. So I guess I could marker on it or something. I was gonna, you know, do it real tiny at the bottom there, burned in. Heck, I'm just gonna mark it on there. Screw the burning part. So now we can give it a clear coat, I guess. The clear coat of choice, Krylon clear acrylic like usual. Dries pretty darn fast, and it brings out the green of the walnut and maple, and it will make the contrast really look nice. So give it a nice coat, and I'll flip it over and do the underside as well. Maybe one or two coats on this, that way it protects it and looks real nice. Alrighty, all the clear coat on the smooth scene has dried. I did both sides of it, good coat on it to bring out the grain on it. Now what I'm going to do is attach it to the mirror I have. And the mirror I have, the border looks sort of stupid. You know, Walmart, they have all these stupid, what they call decorative, what I call it looks ugly, picture frames and all that crap. The one that my grandpa has is nice and plain, just a regular old wooden edge, and this one has to be some stupid decorative crap. So that's the only mirror they had at the time, so I just had to go ahead and get it. But it'll be alright for this, I guess. So what I'm going to do to attach it to that, I'm not quite sure what he used. It might have been what I'm going to do, but it sure worked for his though. It's on there pretty good. I'm going to flip it over right where it's at, and on the back of it, it has these 4 points, sort of like where you can, you know, glue it to something. And I'm going to use some hot glue. You probably already guessed. It's, in my opinion, the strongest and quickest way to bond it on there, because it's you know, glass. It's, you know, the mirror. It's nice and shiny, and you know, wood glue probably won't stick to it. And not quite sure about craft glue, but I'll have to work quick with it. I've had it heating up for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and try it. Oh darn, it don't work faster than that. I'm going to flip it over real quick, press it on there, and center it best you can while it's still you know, on there. And I think I've got it. It doesn't have to be super snug on there, by the way. It's not like you're going to pick it up by the, you know, wooden thing. I know it's sort of hard to see. I'm looking in the camera now because it's reflecting off a bunch of stuff, but it's what it looks like. I'll give you a better picture. I'll have it reflecting off of a blank piece of paper or something. But just pick off all the old glue booger things and should be alright. If it's not that strong, I don't suggest ripping it back up because he could damage something, and you'll just have to make do of how it is now. So it turned out pretty good. So I'll find a poster board or something to reflect it off of, so you'll see a nice clean picture, and then I'll show you the final product, and there'll be me and Dylan to give you the final outtakes of it. Well, I don't really have anything to reflect off of, but this is my room here, and also the ceiling's sort of dark, so you can see all the details on that there. Yeah, there I am in the camera. And so it turned out pretty good. So here is me and Dylan for the outtake. Again, I recreated this moose scene that my grandpa made. In case you didn't catch at the beginning of the video, this is number 29 in his work. I guess it's the 29th thing he's made. And he made it in June of 1999. So, about 14 years ago. So, it's pretty cool to see the date of when he made it, and looks pretty nice. I like, this is probably one of my favorite things that he has made. So I'll show you my recreation real quick. Here's mine. I don't know how well you can see it because it's reflecting, but I'll put up a picture real quick after I get done talking. I made mine out of maple and walnut, as you know, and he used just regular Baltic birch ply and stained the colors to create contrast, but I decided to make something, you know, a little bit nicer. And on the back of it, oh, that you see is where the thing fell off, so I had to use some super glue to put it back on. Hopefully. Hold on. So on the back of it, since I couldn't really burn on it to, you know, deface it and make it look weird, I just sprayed adhesive a piece of white paper and wrote down, you know, the signature, the date, and what it was, the tribute project. So all of that in the future, so I can look back on it and see what I made it and all that. So this was the last tribute project, the moose scene. I'll give you a quick picture to see what it looks like here, and then I'll finish up the talking. Alrighty, next episode, 59, will be a scroll saw talk. It will be over the foot switch feature on the scroll saw. Last one was the little adapt knob thing that you can use for the top thumb screw. And just little, you know, videos that give little quick tips on stuff. If you have a suggestion of the next scroll saw talk, a tip that you could do, whether it be a work light or something like that. I don't really have anything fancy on mine. I know some people have some people have the magnifying lamps and all that. So maybe that'd be an idea or something like that to talk about. But next episode will be over the foot switch. And then we'll be going reflecting on all the videos that we have done, all the tribute videos, and then of the workbench video on episode 52, I believe. I think so. So that's about it.
And don't forget to go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/countryscroller and like it. And we'll post pictures and different links to videos on there and stuff like that. So we'll see you next time. I'm Dylan.
I'm Dustin.
We'll see you later on the Country Scroller.
See you next time.